as what was going on in the moment and who looked visibly uncomfortable and was saying, stop, like, this is not what you guys, you want to catch a case, you know, you're going to catch a case on me. And then what made things worse is after this video surfaced online, people were very critical of Akademiks, rightfully so. A lot of people called him out. He got on stream and basically doubled down and said, rather than apologizing or taking accountability, he started playing, the victim.
AK has done enough in the last few days to demonstrate that this scandal he's involved in is more than just a one-time event that will fade away from his career, as so many other bizarre and disgusting controversies in the past have. This is in spite of the mess we have all witnessed DJ Akademiks make by simply proving to be one of the weirdest people that you could possibly be. In this day and age, when someone in the public eye gets into a controversy, they usually remain in the spotlight for a few days until everyone is infuriated by the next thing. However, given his current behavior, AK has done much too much to ever make people forget the repulsive things he was discovered doing, since he has irritated so many other people over the years, including rappers and content creators. All of DJ Akademiks' competitors have appeared out of nowhere like the Avengers and are now making every effort to ensure that everyone who has ever heard of him is aware of what a real creep is. Overall, it is now evident from the way AK is still spiraling and discussing this issue that if Akademiks attempts to approach anyone in the future or simply do anything, the label he has given himself will never go away and will gradually destroy his entire career until nothing remains. Please be sure to like and subscribe before we discuss how, in reality, the situation that AK has found himself in has made things even more chaotic. The fact that DJ Akademiks did something that, even for his current situation, which is obviously a low point that few other people could ever attempt to reach on their worst day, is really unlike anything else he has ever done, puts into perspective how cooked this guy is and how bad this whole situation has been for him. He was doing one of his many live streams in the same old cave with the same old terrible video quality. It was, of course, following one of the most disastrous crash outs ever. With a moment like this, I show too much love and I could just collect the bag in the midst of this whole issue. I'm too affectionate. AK apparently drew another cue from his friend Drake. Yo, I show too much love to ever be called a weirdo. And when his reputation was beginning to be damaged to the point where, in addition to people being upset, he might have lost his job, AK did something shocking. He offered a partial apology, something he has never done before, except when Drake made him apologize to Cisa while they were working on a song together, and AK went too far when he was discussing her. Now, what AK said and what is essentially his second apology will continue to blame everyone and disparage everyone he opposes. But after ensuring that he is aware that everyone who has been angry with him still wants to be at odds with him, he sort of admitted that he was wrong to say what he did to someone who is roughly half his age and with whom he felt it was appropriate to speak. Now, AK's actions and words make it clear that he is not truly sorry, and that the only reason he even made this statement was apparently because his real career was at stake and the brands and people he works with were telling him to make things right or else they would distance themselves from him, which would obviously result in his losing his job. However, you know AK's personality, and while he is many things, someone who ever feels they are even slightly wrong is definitely not one of them. Fortunately, most people are not giving up on AK despite his remark, and they're just seeing through the blatant ploy he was attempting to make because it was so plain how dishonest everything was. Regarding the seriousness of AK's situation, there have been rumors that higher authorities are now investigating him. This is not the first time, though given his past behavior and given how terrible what Akademiks did was, it simply crosses a line that no normal person would ever cross. Apologizing on stream in this way does not demonstrate that you have truly changed. And once more, given your background, it appears like a pattern is beginning to emerge. But now, beyond AK's awful apology, which has only made things worse for him, what's made this situation even worse for Akademiks, and when we look at his career trajectory, is just making this whole moment poetic in a certain way. After AK has spent years attacking people, exposing their darkest moments, where things really start to get shady, and trying to push false narratives or run around making up facts when there isn't any real evidence to support them, now everyone who has a beef with AK is suddenly showing up and escalating this situation even more in the same way that he has done to them. Specifically, two rappers have been leading the effort to end Akademiks' career forward more than anyone else. The first of these is none other than Meek Mill. These rappers are making AK's controversy even worse, making him look awful to the industry, and simply making sure that everyone is aware of what he has done. Since AK and Meek have been at odds for years, and Meek has, to put it mildly, grown increasingly popular as a meme, AK has become increasingly vocal about chronicling what he claims is Meek's demise. Now that there is concrete evidence that AK is among the worst individuals imaginable, Meek appears to be celebrating. Since Meek firmly believes that AK should not even be permitted to exist on people's social media screens due to what he has done, he appears to be tweeting about it on social media and cautioning parents to make sure to remove all academic communications from their children. I mean, even though I kind of had a point, I don't think anyone would want AK to be in a position where he can do anything even close to this again. Meek has finally gotten back at AK and has successfully painted this image of who he is by using the exact controversy AK is currently in to say what he wants to do in much worse words than I am. Overall though, Meek has finally ended his feud with DJ Akademiks by giving him a failing grade. Speaking of giving Akademiks the finger, Freddie Gibbs, the rapper who has done more than anybody else to make AK appear like a clown to the public, was having a great time with this moment. Meek in particular has been harassed by AK for years. And while Freddie always comes up with inventive and outrageous ways to troll, such as when he released Akademiks shirts on a Teletubby, which led to one of the best jokes ever, this time, when everyone else was talking about AK, Freddie stopped talking and just said one thing to AK, which was really all that was necessary given the circumstances. Furthermore, it's actually more hilarious that Freddie Gibbs chose to give AK an annual L in this manner rather than going above and beyond, because once more, this moment revealed everything we need to know about AK's career and exposed him in a way that was worse than anything else could have ever been. With Meek, Freddie, and even streamers like Plowboy Max, with whom AK has been at odds because all he does is sit and watch these things, he naturally noticed how they are accelerating the end of his run, which has deteriorated hip-hop culture in every manner imaginable. And once more, rather than using this time to consider the fact that you do have some serious problems and should be giving things some serious thought, AK has instead gathered his small team, whom he has been training for months to do things like post anything that will boost Drake's reputation and undermine Kendrick Lamar's, and is now using them to further his personal feud in the most bizarre ways with Plowboy Max, Freddie, and Meek Mill. All of the poor videos of Plowboy Max and his friend, who was first involved in this whole scenario, are being posted by AK, who is attempting to make Max look bad for what he did because, in AK's opinion, he has done the same thing in a much worse way. In his most recent back and forth with Freddie Gibbs, Akademiks is once again demonstrating his insecurity and pathetic nature by asking his staff to create some of the most bizarre posts about one of the greatest rappers of our time. In fact, AK's team went so far as to make such claims that the mother of one of Freddie Gibbs' sons nearly named him after Akademiks. Furthermore, given the current situation, I don't believe AK wants to promote this kind of narrative. But seriously, DJ Akademiks is demonstrating that he is one of the most immature and pitiful people out there, from the apology, which was one of the worst attempts at expressing regret that I've ever seen, to the way he is reacting to being called out by others during his darkest hour. Rather than using this time to think or simply do anything different, he is now using all of his efforts to make everyone else look worse. And like Drake, the man he looks up to above all else, they are not only naive about reality and their own issues, rather, they would rather bring others down with them than ever strive to improve themselves. And for AK, there must come a moment when you simply leave that situation and recognize that life is more important than these trivial games and antics. This guy's a worse loser than any of us could have ever imagined though, if the whole thing hasn't served as a wake-up call for him to just modify his behavior, which it obviously hasn't. However, in a time when hip-hop is changing in its entirety, individuals like Drake and Akademiks are demonstrating that they simply do not fit with what rap stands for, whether we are discussing the actual artists, media figures, or simply fans and people in general. The only positive aspect of this situation is that at the very least everyone is now realizing that DJ Akademiks is the worst and that he is literally different from the rest of us. And therefore, with the backlash he's getting, industry forces moving away from him, or at least thinking about that, because that's why he gave out any sort of apology in the first place. And to rappers like Freddie and Meek, even making the truth about what this guy is doing louder than ever, if Drake was already bringing AK this way, because Drake has proven that he does not embody anything hip-hop represents as well, AK is on a clear course where, in the future from now, while he will still have a following because there are strange people just like him who do look up to him, which just saying that out loud is sad, with hip-hop really just separating from everything he is representing. At least in a few years, he will be in another corner of media and entertainment still trying to be the problem he has been for hip-hop culture for over a decade now. But without having the influence he has had here, and with his reputation only getting worse, which I'm sure will only continue from this point, he will never be able to be as weird and awful of a person on this level ever again. In light of everything mentioned above, tell me what you think about DJ Akademiks' decline, which has led him to abandon hip-hop entirely. Where do you think this moment will ultimately lead him? This is because we are witnessing more individuals than ever before who are truly angry and done with this person. I'm eager to hear your thoughts, and if you've seen the entire video, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Check out the suggested video to discover how Drake's situation has gotten worse, as his label informs us that he is in more serious problems than we could have ever imagined, just as DJ Akademiks' career is truly coming to an end.